Welcome to Financial Freedom. You're watching video 1 in our empowering daily book insight series. If you're passionate about mastering your finances but struggle to find the time for heavy reading, you're in the right place. Every day, I distill the wisdom of groundbreaking books on investments, startups, entrepreneurship, leadership, business, and finance, bringing you key insights in just a few minutes. Today, we're exploring Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. If you ever feel the video's pace is a bit slow, feel free to speed it up to 1.25x. And if you believe in financial empowerment through knowledge, hit the like button, share with friends who could benefit, and subscribe for your daily dose of financial wisdom. Let's kickstart with a quote that truly embodies this book's spirit. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. Ready to unlock the secrets to financial freedom? Let's dive in. Let's dive into our first key takeaway from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The crucial role of financial education. While our schools teach us about various subjects, they often leave out one critical area: financial literacy. This is where Robert Kiyosaki's journey in Rich Dad, Poor Dad begins. Kiyosaki shares stories from his childhood, comparing the financial philosophies of his two dads. His biological father, whom he calls Poor Dad, was well educated and held a stable job. Yet, he struggled financially. Why? Because he lacked financial education. He focused on working for money but never learned how to make money work for him. On the other hand, his rich dad, his friend's father, wasn't highly educated but was financially savvy. He understood assets, investments, and the power of passive income. Kiyosaki learned from his rich dad that to be financially successful, one must understand how money works and how to make it grow. So, what's the real-time impact of this lesson? Let's talk about Sarah, a software engineer. Sarah, like many, believed that a high salary was the key to financial success. She worked hard, earned well, but never seemed to get ahead financially. Why? Because, like Kiyosaki's poor dad, she lacked financial education. She spent her earnings on liabilities like a new car and luxury items, which depreciated over time. After reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Sarah's perspective shifted. She started educating herself on financial matters. She learned about budgeting, investing, and the importance of acquiring assets. She opened an investment account, started contributing to a retirement fund, and even bought a small rental property. This shift from simply earning to growing her wealth transformed Sarah's financial trajectory. Kiyosaki's message is clear. Financial education is the foundation of financial freedom. It's not just about how much money you make. It's about how much you keep and how hard that money works for you. So, my financial freedom followers, ask yourself, are you just working for money, or are you learning to make money work for you? Remember, the first step to financial freedom is financial education. That wraps up our first key takeaway. Stay tuned as we dive into the second takeaway, understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. It's a game changer, and I can't wait to share it with you. Moving on to our second key insight from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the crucial difference between assets and liabilities. This concept is the cornerstone of Robert Kiyosaki's financial philosophy, and it's surprisingly simple yet incredibly powerful. Kiyosaki defines assets as things that put money in your pocket, and liabilities as things that take money out. Sounds straightforward, right? But here's where many of us, like Kiyosaki's poor dad, often get tripped up. We tend to misclassify liabilities as assets. For example, take the traditional dream of owning a home. Most of us are taught to see our home as an asset. But Kiyosaki challenges this. He argues that if your home isn't generating income and is costing you money in mortgages, taxes, and maintenance, it's actually a liability. Let's illustrate this with a real-time example. Meet Tom and Linda. Tom, influenced by conventional wisdom, invests his savings in a lavish, expensive home. It's beautiful, but it's also a financial burden due to its high upkeep and mortgage costs. Linda, on the other hand, buys a modest house and invests the rest of her savings in rental properties. These properties generate rental income, making them true assets. Years down the line, Tom is still working hard to maintain his lifestyle, while Linda has multiple streams of passive income from her rentals. Linda understood what Kiyosaki taught. Wealth is accumulated by acquiring assets, not liabilities. So, how do you apply this in your life? Start by analyzing your expenses. Are you investing in assets or spending on liabilities? This could mean choosing to invest in stocks, bonds, or real estate that can generate income or appreciate in value over time, instead of splurging on a new car that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. This takeaway from Kiyosaki isn't just about financial literacy, it's about changing your mindset. It's about looking at your expenditures and investments through a new lens, one that focuses on long-term financial growth and stability. As we wrap up this takeaway, I encourage you to think about your own financial decisions. Are they leading you towards accumulating assets or liabilities? Remember, the path to financial freedom is paved with smart, informed choices about where your money goes. And that's a wrap on our second key takeaway from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Up next, we'll explore the power of passive income. It's a game changer in the journey to financial independence. As we delve into our third key insight from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, we uncover a crucial element of financial freedom: the power of passive income. Robert Kiyosaki emphasizes that earning money is not just about working a 9-to-5 job. It's about creating streams of income that don't require your constant active involvement. Passive income is money you earn even when you're not actively working for it. This could be through rental properties, dividends from stocks, interest from bonds, royalties from books or patents, and so on. The beauty of passive income is that it provides financial security and freedom. It means not being tied to a job just to pay your bills and having the freedom to pursue what truly matters to you. Let's bring this concept to life with an example. Consider the story of Emily, a graphic designer. Emily worked long hours, but she knew that solely trading her time for money wasn't the path to wealth. Inspired by Rich Dad, Poor Dad, she decided to create an online course teaching graphic design. Once created, this course became a source of passive income. People could buy and access it anytime, bringing Emily money while she slept, traveled, or worked on other projects. Kiyosaki's point here is not to abandon your day job, but to find ways to supplement your income with passive streams. This could be investing in a small side business, buying stocks that pay dividends, or even purchasing a rental property. The key takeaway is about shifting your mindset from earning income solely through labor to generating wealth through smart investments and passive income sources. It's about making your money work for you, rather than you working for money all your life. As we reflect on this, ask yourself, what steps can you take today to start building passive income streams? It doesn't have to be a big step. Small, consistent actions over time can lead to significant financial growth and freedom. That's our third powerful takeaway from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Up next, we'll explore why working to learn, not just for money, can be a game changer in your financial journey. Moving on to our fourth insightful takeaway from Rich Dad, Poor Dad: the value of working to learn, not just for money. This is a game-changing concept that Robert Kiyosaki passionately advocates for in his book. Kiyosaki emphasizes that the primary goal of work should not be just to earn a paycheck, but to learn new skills and gain diverse experiences. He argues that many people are too focused on the salary aspect of a job and often overlook opportunities to learn skills that could significantly boost their future income potential. Let's illustrate this with a real-life example. Think about Mark, a young professional. He had two job offers, one from a well-known, high-paying company, and another from a smaller startup offering a lower salary. The big company's role was specialized, while the startup offered a chance to wear multiple hats and learn various aspects of the business. Inspired by Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Mark chose the startup. This decision paid off in the long run, as he gained invaluable experience in sales, marketing, and operations, skills that later helped him launch his successful business. Kiyosaki himself followed a similar path. He took jobs that taught him about sales, marketing, and management, rather than those offering the highest salary. These skills were crucial in his journey to becoming a successful entrepreneur and investor. The lesson here is clear: look beyond the paycheck. Consider what skills and experiences you can gain from a job and how they can contribute to your long-term financial success. It's about building a wealth of knowledge and skills that can be leveraged for future financial opportunities. As we think about this takeaway, reflect on your current or future career choices. Are you prioritizing learning and skill development? How can your current job or the next opportunity you're considering help you grow not just financially, but in knowledge and experience? And that wraps up our fourth key insight from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Coming up next, we'll delve into our final takeaway, the importance of overcoming fear and taking risks. As we reach our final and perhaps most transformative takeaway from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, we confront a critical barrier to financial success: overcoming fear and taking risks. Robert Kiyosaki stresses that fear and a lack of action are the biggest obstacles to financial growth. Kiyosaki points out that fear of losing money often prevents people from making the financial decisions that could lead to significant wealth. He argues that while it's natural to fear loss, it's essential to learn from failures and view them as stepping stones to success. Let's consider the story of Elon Musk, an exemplar of embracing risk. Musk invested a fortune he made from PayPal into new ventures like SpaceX and Tesla. Despite the high risk of failure, these ventures not only succeeded spectacularly, but also revolutionized their respective industries. While not everyone can be an Elon Musk, his story illustrates Kiyosaki's point. Taking calculated risks is vital for extraordinary success. In your own journey towards financial freedom, it's important to recognize that avoiding risk also means avoiding opportunities for growth. This doesn't mean recklessly jumping into every investment opportunity. It means doing your homework, understanding the risks, and then having the courage to take calculated steps. For instance, investing in stocks or starting a side business might seem daunting due to the potential for loss. However, with proper research and a well-thought-out plan, these risks can lead to significant rewards. The key is to start small, learn continuously, and not let the fear of failure paralyze you. As Kiyosaki teaches, financial intelligence is not just about managing money. It's also about managing your fears and making decisions that align with your goals, even when there's uncertainty. So, as we wrap up this final takeaway, I challenge you to reflect on your approach to risk. Are there opportunities you might be missing out on due to fear? Remember, the path to financial freedom is often paved with risks that were worth taking. And that concludes our journey through the 5 key takeaways from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I hope these insights have inspired you to think differently about money, wealth, and success. If you've enjoyed this video and found it valuable, please like, share, and subscribe for more. Don't forget, every day we're exploring new books and uncovering the secrets to achieving financial freedom. Stay tuned for more, and remember, your journey to financial independence is just a book away.